Welcome back to the Chop Shop. Like always, I'm Big Rich. Continuing our series-long episode-by-episode breakdown of HBO's The Wire, here we are with episode 3, The Buys. One of the most important episodes in television history. I mean, this episode is jam-packed. Lester Freamon finally punches in the work. D'Angelo plays some chess. And we're introduced to two of the biggest antagonists in the entire series. One of them being Valchek. And two, well, homie don't need no introduction. Just remember, Omar's coming.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get right into it. Like the previous two episodes, D'Angelo's trying to kick some knowledge to the youngsters. Can't lie, y'all. Bodie be treating these fiends like they ain't shit.
It ain't even 9 o'clock and you fiending on it. Get the f*** out of here, man.
I respect the fact that D'Angelo's trying to add a little bit of humanity into the game.
So you just gonna take his money all day and treat him like a dog?
Yeah, they junkies, yeah, they addicts. But like D'Angelo said, how much better are we? I mean, we're serving the people that you hate.
And you a goddamn drug dealer.
So?
I really think McNulty got through to him because everything McNulty kicked to D'Angelo last episode, he was trying to spit to these young boys. There gotta be a way to make this money without the violence, without the griminess, without the dirtiness. That's all D'Angelo's kicking.
Shit, everything else in the world gets sold without people taking advantage.
That's basically what McNulty was expressing to him during the interrogation.
Everything else in this country gets sold without people shooting each other behind it.
But Bodie ain't trying to hear none of that.
Because they dope fiends.
And then here comes Bubbles. Just understand, for $5...
$5 make you a gallant motherfucker like this.
This is just another great-ass cold opening. The episode starts with blowback from Prez knocking homie's eye out. And here we are introduced to Valchek. Now, Valchek was one of the true villains of HBO's The Wire.
Shitbirds throwing dirt at good police.
He's Prez Belusky's father-in-law. Now, Daniels, he really don't want no part of Prez. I think Daniels is disgusted with him.
Officer Prez Belusky be placed on administrative leave. I can use him in office.
But Daniels is like, yo, if I'm stuck with him, we keeping homie in-house. That man will not be on the street.
A 14-year-old is half blind.
And I love watching the cop angle of this show. Because real spit, at this point, you really don't know who to root for.
Goddamn right. They were fucking shooting at us out there.
Yeah, the streets are grimy, the streets are violent, and they're selling drugs. Carv, Herc, and Prez started that BS in the projects. And here they are making it look like it was the other side.
Did you know they were in the high-rises without backup?
Get in the comment section. At this point, I didn't want either side to win, because both sides were grimy.
Deputy, always a pleasure.
Continuing with the cop side of this, McNulty and Kima are really going over all the details surrounding Avon Boxdale. And here they are 2 to 3 weeks in, and they ain't even got a picture of the brother. Like McNulty said, it's embarrassing.
Been working on him 2 weeks and we don't even have a photo.
Embarrassing.
It's like Avon Boxdale been preparing for this moment his whole life. McNulty sends these two idiots to go find a picture of Avon.
So you want us to go down to the housing department and pull his photo?
Excellent.
Of course, these dopes come back with a picture, and it's a 40-year-old white man.
This is Barksdale?
Avon Boxdale.
Homie right here said that shit with confidence. But while they're talking about Avon, they mention that he was a Golden Gloves boxer.
He likes to work out and he used to box Golden Gloves when he was younger.
And this is where Lester Freamon finally shows up to work.
How'd you do that?
I don't know.
Lester Freamon finally punches into work. Homie here was my favorite part of Major Crimes. Gets in the car, goes to the gym, and next day, homie shows up with his picture.
Bingo!
Instantly showing his worth, showing his value. Real spit without even trying. Staying with the cop side of things, there's a mole in the unit. Santangelo. Homie right here is reporting back directly to Rawls.
Look, you're my eyes and ears in this mess, right? And I don't want no more surprises.
McNulty done backdoored homie so many times, Rawls was tired of looking stupid. Homie went out and created his own bubbles, his own CI. Another thing with the police, Cinder needs to go undercover.
You can't send his ass in the projects with this shit taped to him.
So they link up with the feds to get some better equipment. Can't lie, y'all, there was a couple storylines I wasn't a fan of. The whole Fed relationship, I really didn't care much for it. I mean, Rhonda's love life, ain't give a shit about that. And there's nothing worse than a drunk McNulty.
What, so I'm a dog now?
Meow.
Those storylines I'm not touching much during this recap. But the Fed did say something really interesting when talking to McNulty. He gave the impression that Daniels was dirty. They were doing a whole investigation, etc., etc.
Daniels is dirty.
What?
They said because homie was sitting on some extra money, extra assets.
That man's got a couple 100,000 more in liquid assets.
Did they know Daniels' wife was a politician?
Seriously. You look at his background?
I don't know, y'all. Get in the comment sections. Do you think Daniels was dirty? Let me know what's up. Now back to the streets. Testers finally arrive, and there's a line around the block for these shits.
Get him around the corner. Hurry up. Take him around. Take him around.
And here's our first look at Omar. This scene always cracks me up. Poop running around the PJs trying to avoid the puddles and shit leads them right to the stash.
Third from the end. That's the stash.
And Omar Little, the brother is not impressed. It's amateur hour over here, y'all.
Real raggedy ass shit here, boy. Third stop.
Moving on to one of the most iconic scenes of season 1, D'Angelo explains to Wallace and Bodie how to play chess.
Yo, why y'all playing checkers on the chess set?
Yo, why you give a shit?
Real talk, D'Angelo should have been a teacher or something. Cause the way he breaks down the game of chess to these two.
See this? This the kingpin.
He makes it so easy to understand. And I love that they're breaking down the rules of chess on the episode that Omar Little's introduced. Because all Omar cared about was the rules of the game. And they sort of line up with the way chess is played. D'Angelo lets him know this is the kingpin.
Yeah, like my own.
He breaks down Avon's role in it, Stringer's role in it.
Remind me of Stringer.
Even the fact that the stash
It's like the stash.
has to move every now and then.
Come on, yo, think. How many times we moved the stash house this week?
These two are absorbing all the information, and they're loving the shit.
True, you right. All right. What about them little bald-headed bitches right there?
But they strike a nerve when D'Angelo talks about the pawns.
These are the pawns. They like the soldiers.
Pawns get sacrificed quick, and these two are having a hard time accepting that.
The pawns, man, in the game, they get capped quick.
Also, y'all, the way they reference the queen being Stringer Bell, because Stringer Bell thought he had all the moves.
And like I said, the queen ain't no bitch. She got all the moves.
Just kind of foreshadows some of Stringer Bell's bullshit later to come. But Bodie hits D'Angelo with a dope-ass line when it comes to the pawns.
Unless they some smart-ass pawns.
I do believe to a certain extent Bodie was one of those smart-ass pawns. I would have loved to have seen him make it out the game or at least advance. But I do think he was smarter than your typical soldier, y'all.
Unless they some smart-ass pawns.
Get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Now back to the cop side of things. Cinder walks into Major Crimes ready to go undercover. As he said, he's one
right nasty son of a bitch.
This bit of dialogue right here, Bubbles breaking down Cinder's probably one of my favorite parts of the episode. Because Bubbles rips this man apart. First off addressing the wedding ring.
That shit been pawned off of you for real. Dead giveaway.
But the line to me that sticks out to this day, I remember it yesterday. Growing up in Queens, New York, I remember my mother telling us to watch out for the crack vials as we walk to school. And for Bubbles here to talk about the dead soldiers, crack vials under your feet.
You walking down them alleys of the projects, man. You stepping on the dead soldiers.
This shit hits home. I remember playing basketball at school, sliding all over the place, because I had little pieces of glass stuck to my sneaker, y'all.
You can't walk down the Baltimore streets without that shit cracking underneath your feet.
I don't know if any of y'all can relate, but get in the comment section, let me know your thoughts.
Dead soldiers.
Yeah, empty vials.
These two finally hits the streets. My man here looking like Tyrone Biggins.
Is this a 5 o'clock free crack giveaway?
They cop from every gang, every squad, every crew they can cop from. Bubbles totes this man around like they were 2 peas on a pod. Cinder realizes early that they ain't buying from nobody.
They're pretty tight out here, Keeper.
The drugs and the money, that shit touches the hands of nobody that matters.
You don't hand no money to nobody that matters.
So here he is talking to Kima through the van, talking about, yo, let's call it a day.
Shit. We cop from every crew out here.
We gotta go somewhere and spark this shit up.
Ain't we supposed to go off somewhere and fire this shit up?
As Kima drives off, Who's there laying in the cut? Omar and his crew.
Well, now.
Just showing you Omar's work ethic. This man's out here, he's even waiting out the cops. Finds out instantly that Bubbles is working with the police. Now after these guys' hard work, Daniels comes in, basically breaking the news to him that, hey, the bosses know we got some hand-to-hands. They want us all to move tomorrow. Arrest whoever we can arrest, just to keep the higher-ups happy.
He wants us to put everything we get into search and seizures and hit the projects Wednesday afternoon.
McNulty plays the bitch. He don't want no part of this. By this part of the show, if you haven't learned yet, McNulty's an asshole.
Christ.
If this shit ain't being done his way, he ain't taking no part in this shit.
I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna help them gut the case. I'm sorry.
Moving back to the streets. Now, after a long day of playing chess, D'Angelo gotta drop some money off the string. D'Angelo walks in this room and he's in awe seeing all this money.
Where all the money go?
D'Angelo drops some paper off, and I can't lie, Stringer Bell's impressed. Damn near $23,000 made in one day.
22, 4, give or take.
On the low rises?
But D'Angelo let String know that, yo, our shit is weak. They coming back on us telling us our shit is garbage. And it doesn't faze Stringer Bell not one bit.
Shit is weak, but, shit is weak all over.
This is one of his best quotes in the series, y'all. Get in the comment section, let me know your thoughts.
Shit is strong, we gonna sell it. Shit is weak, we gonna sell twice as much.
We do worse, they buy more. It's just simple math.
We do worse, and we get paid more.
Always felt like Stringer was trying to sun D'Angelo. Even giving homie the little bonus money. Always felt like he talked down to him, treated him like an idiot. Yeah, I appreciate the bonus, homie, but I don't need the lecture.
That's a bonus right there. You make sure you buy something that you wouldn't otherwise.
D'Angelo takes that money and spends it on Chardine.
Lyric. Usual.
Buying homegirl a drink was one of the worst decisions homie made on the show. Cause dealing with her came back to bite them in the ass later in the series.
I'm his right hand.
Back to the pit. D'Angelo makes a food run.
Yo, he go for food?
Yep.
And of course when D'Angelo leaves, that's when Stinkum shows up with the product. Shows up with the work.
Stink, what up?
What's up, bro? 10 minutes, huh?
And there he is laying in the cut. Omar Little. Guns up everybody. Brings him into this room.
Get the down. Shit, stay there, bitch.
Omar straight up wants the product.
Where that, man?
You can tell in Omar's eyes he was nothing to be fucked with. Going in there with no mask. A ruthless ass city like Baltimore.
And Leonard takes a slug to the leg.
Omar looks at the youngster. Where's it at, shorty?
Where that, shorty?
Get in the comment section, y'all. I might be wrong, but I don't think Omar's shooting no kid's leg off here.
Kitchen. Under the sink.
Hey, yo, go on and get that.
Little man gives it up.
G-Packs. Let's roll.
Just two.
And here comes Brandon, the weakest link, talking about,
Omar, come on. Come on. Hey, what the?
and this is the irony of this scene. Remember when Omar was first introduced, talking about
Real raggedy ass shit here, boy.
kind of making fun of their whole operation? You don't think Brandon should have showed more discipline by not saying Omar's name outright? But here's your partner calling you out by name in a room full of gangsters.
Omar, come on. Hey, what the?
Of course, as Omar takes off, here's D'Angelo walking back with his sandwiches. And let's look in the corner. Who do we see in the corner minding his business but my man Bubbles? That man Bubbles' eyes said it all. That brother was terrified. He ain't want no parts of this shit. Moving back to the police side of shit, it's time for these brothers to hit the pit, hit the projects, and here's McNulty.
What's with you?
Shitting all over Daniels, directly in front of the whole team, in front of everybody. The brother's insubordinate.
I'm not going.
You're insubordinate?
Now the man done talked to the judge, the man's shit done made it to the newspaper, pissed off Rawls, and now here he is doing Daniels dirty.
You wanna write me up on that? You can't.
You think I want this?
Daniels gets in his shit, but at the end of the day, McNulty does what McNulty wants.
If you wanna pretend to be a police, you go ahead.
Right before the police hit the pit, Weebay lectures D'Angelo for not being on his square, not being on his game.
But where you at?
You in a goddamn sandwich shop.
Weebay was Avon's main enforcer. He was someone you did not want to piss off.
You got $20,000 D coming into your shop.
And real spit by D'Angelo not being prepared. Now Weebay gotta go to work.
Thinking was what you wasn't doing, and now we look like bitches.
Get in the comment section, y'all. Do you think it was D'Angelo's fault? I just think Omar was good at what he does. And here the police come. Boom! Kicking down the door with his stashes. And as Bodie tells Weebay,
Wrong door.
Wrong door.
Yeah?
all this hard work, all this bullshit for nothing. I know all of them right here hate to admit it. McNulty was right. And what a perfect way to end this episode. This drunk right here tries to put cuffs on Bodie.
Man, come on, man, damn, we wasn't even doing shit.
I mean, Bodie literally punched this man into retirement. I tell you, y'all, Bodie took offense to that pawn shit.
Pawns, man, in the game, they get capped quick.
He let it out on homie right here. I mean, Kima came flying through with the wrath of God in her to put the beats on this man. They let this brother have it. And what a good partner he is, letting this man have a smoke as he's laying there with his arm tore open. Oh man, the buys, y'all. This was the episode that got me hooked on The Wire. From this moment on, I couldn't wait week to week. I needed my shit now. Like always, y'all, if you enjoying this, hit that red button, turn notifications on. That membership link is available. Like always, y'all, I'm Big Rich. I'll see y'all next time.